We're live. How's it going? We have some good drama for today. This involves the Twitch mod that was talking to Charlie Penguin Zero, who had also cut up a video about him. And I just now, while I'm on a little bit late today, just finished watching Hassan's stream that he talked to the infamous, the one and only Dizzler. And so I bring you the news. I'm going to bring you the news of the Dizzler and tell you exactly what this whole saga was about, kind of go over some of the intricacies about it, and really immerse ourselves in this one, because this is quite the saga. It definitely reached a new point by the end of Hassan's stream that I didn't think about till now, so I'm glad I waited. So thanks for people that are joining. If you're watching this after the fact, appreciate you being here. And as you might know, I like to dive right into stuff. So let's hop in. So it all started with today, Penguin Zero. Actually, 2 days ago, Charlie posted this video called Saddest Twitch Stream Ever. And basically what in this entire video, I'm going to kind of watch a bit of it. I'm not going to watch all of it because I think, it's got 3 million views on it. I think if you're seeing me show this, you've probably seen this video by now. It was very well received. 208K up, dude. 749 downvotes. Basically, it was this Twitch mod, SupCaitlyn, who had her mod over at her house for like 6 days, 7 days, something like that. And was just hanging out. He's there for... Now, this is where it gets kind of sticky because, the internet perceives ways that he's there. He has his own reasons to why he's there. So I'll get into that a little bit into this. But yeah, he's at her house for 6 days. And in this particular stream right here, which I actually have the whole stream up right here. There was a couple points that I made note of. There's something that I didn't see people making note of at the beginning of it, because if you go to, I think it was 53 seconds in. Let's listen to this one. Let's listen to this together real quick. Okay, right? I think it was right here. Okay, let's see. Beat it up, you let me practice. Now I'm finna lay you on a match. Okay. You probably heard that, right? That little moan. And then listen to what she proceeds to say after this. Bitch, sit on my face. I attack that. So she goes, stop. And that's how she starts this stream with her mod. Now, mind you, this was her first stream with her mod right here. As you can see right here, she did her own, and then right here's the first one, with the mod. So to come out the gates, swinging, sorry, I don't think I was showing that. I'll show it right here. So as you can see, it was her first stream with the mod. So there's her stream right here, and then there's the mod. There's the stream, with her mod. So it was the first one, and it's dangerous territory because, it's a culmination of a lot of things. When I first saw this, my initial take was also ew, gross. And while I still think this is it's pretty gross, and there's a lot of intricacies into how she was treating him, I think it's worthy of us going through Charlie's initial video here just a little bit to give you guys some, give you a little flavor on this whole situation. So let's play it through to kind of fill you in.
Would have felt more pleasant for this mod, I imagine. She spends the entire stream basically just insulting him. He is the butt of every one of her jokes, and she kind of just reduces him to a spittoon for her and her chat to spit in and make fun of. Now, I think punching bags get treated with more respect than this guy did, and it only got worse the longer the stream went on. She had a donation goal where if the stream gave her $500...
So, I'll kind of fill you in here. Charlie later on then talks to this mod, mainly because Charlie, as all of you know, he's a great YouTuber. I've been watching him since 12 years ago. He's awesome. But oftentimes when you do what he does and you're quick to react to things, you then miss later context, and people that are watching it while that other context is happening, Charlie, meanwhile, is not providing the context within his video. So by that, I'm saying Charlie's initial take on this was just looking at the situation and be going like, oh, God, and just saying like how horrible she treated him, not realizing a lot of the context, but I'll continue to play his video anyway.
She would kiss him.
Oh, God, fuck. Sorry, one more shot, guys.
Dang.
Okay, and not to keep pausing, sorry, but this part particularly is, while it's very cringe, it still is cringe, and I'll let this roll out a little bit to explain my 10 cents on this, why it's kind of gross and weird, but why it's also not, which sounds odd, but I'll play it through and explain.
If you ever want to get drunk really fast, just after kiss Dilly, you'll be fucked up by the time the night's over.
That is soul-crushingly mean-spirited. That is downright diabolical. Saying if you want to get drunk, just try and kiss Dilly, you'll be fucked up by the end of the night. Saying that you have to be hammered to want to kiss this guy. And this is the attitude for the entire stream. So she makes it pretty clear that she can't really stand to be around him unless she is extraordinarily drunk. So the whole time she is drinking throughout the stream, they reach the donation goal, so now she's obligated to give him a little smooch.
I mean, even, like, okay, I'll say this right now. It is, like, in her eyes, I'll let her kind of get into this a little bit as I bring you through this drama. But she talks about how this is, like, a bit. And while I know that in the back of my head, this, like, bit or not, I think if you're being a normal person, if you were to go out in public and show this to somebody, they would, and explain to them what's happening, they would still say this is cringe. Like, just nonetheless, bit or not, it's cringe.
Can't do it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you come closer?
This close? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Can you pucker up? Pucker up.
This is I have small lips.
You snotted on me. You just snotted on me.
This is my allergy.
You went, and the little snots went on my leg.
It did?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
All right, come on.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And the main thing that I've had to take away from this whole thing is that this is, after doing some thinking, this is kind of like incel rage bait, sort of, in a way. This clip mainly, but also a lot of the rest of this. The reason I say that, her stream is painful to watch, Ryan said. It's really painful. I have it on a tab, and I'll go through it a little bit, because I think we need to suffer. We're in this together. We're suffering together. But the reason this is incel rage bait is particularly because incels use this as, like, examples of, like, why, oh, like, I could never treat a woman nicely because this is an example of how women act. Like, that's the narrative out there. And so it reinforces that idea. So, of course, like, you're going to get incels that are going to watch this and use it as justification. To say, oh, that's why you don't try to kiss a woman. Like, you know, they're gonna use it. I'm sure there's directions I haven't even thought of that they're gonna say. And that's why I don't like this, because I think it puts out, like, a bad perspective for men they're putting themselves out there in the field, right? It makes them be like, maybe I should not go out in the field. But yeah, it's really gross in that respect to things. And the way that she, like, ran off was like that little kid, like, ew, cooties sort of manner. And I think because it's a bit, it makes it almost worse. And I think, I mean, I guess if it were real life, it'd probably be even worse. But none of us really had this context of it being a bit. Like, I only know that it's a bit because of her explaining this after the fact. And I still don't think a bit justifies, like, this whole situation. Even though he is the Dizzler or whatever. But let's just continue this. I want to give you more context.
If I was watching a hostage video where someone had kidnapped my grandmother, threatening to slit her throat unless I paid the ransom, I would honestly find that video to be less cruel and more humane than this Twitch stream I just watched. This is absolutely brutal. My heart breaks for this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's done to deserve this, but this is like a divine punishment here. This whole thing was her idea. This was her donation incentive. And now she's acting like it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. It's so bad.
No, there's another nuance here within this whole spectacle that I didn't discuss yet. Having your Twitch mod over at your house, it's one thing. Okay, this is a huge dynamic here. It's one thing if you are a guy and you have your homie or your bro over who's your Twitch mod. It's like, all right, you're hanging with the bros or whatever. But it's a completely different dynamic when you're a woman having your Twitch mod as a guy over, let alone staying over there. You're putting yourself at a lot of risk. First off, the guy could be nice on text, could be nice over the phone, could be nice in Twitch world, but oh man, I'm 100% confident that there's plenty of stories out there of women being harassed. Maybe not directly from their Twitch mod, maybe there are, but in other circumstances like this, where they invite a guy from the internet over. You know, you've heard the stories from even dating apps. You've heard the stories from just people face to face, and they invite him over, and the guy just, like, there's so many different dynamics involving, like, harassment of women that can happen in these situations. So she's already kind of taking the leap of faith, inviting this guy over, and kind of chancing it. And to all of our surprise, this guy is actually normal. He's a very normal, chill guy. And I think a lot of people on the internet, I think Charlie and Hassan included, and I think this is something that I think I can offer another perspective to. Because here's what I find so mind-blowing about the internet. We're so used to seeing so many bad guys on the internet that, like, most people like Charlie or Hassan or other people are going to have the immediate reaction that, like, wow, insanely nice guy, for, like, a guy being normal. But, like, I actually think, for the record, we see more bad than we see good. There's not many times you hear too many good guy stories. And oftentimes when you do hear good guy stories, people get shit on for it because then it's like, oh, you're just, hyping yourself up or whatever. I don't know what the argument's going to be there. But you don't hear enough good guy stories. So it's, to me, a little crazy that, like, people have to react to be like, oh, a good guy? Whoa, crazy. Like, there are good dudes out there. We shouldn't, like, be so used to this bad dude narrative that it's a shock that because there's plenty of good dudes out there. I mean, I'm friends with plenty of good, like, people that I know that are trustworthy, things like that. It is sad. And that's not me taking away from the fact that there are really terrible dudes out there. While there's good people, there's still terrible people. But it's sad that what I'm trying to say here is it's sad that we all have to have this, like, reaction to the Twitch mod here going, oh, wow, he's great. It's like, well, he's just another fella.
She's got to
But I'll continue playing this a little bit more, and then I'll get you more into this. 'Cause I think you have a little bit of context, but I want to show you more of this Charlie video first.
go rinse her mouth out. She's got to fucking brush her teeth and scrub it all down with soap and bleach just to try and erase the stain that his lips put upon hers. It's just evil. This whole stream is her basically just bullying this guy.
Well, Jesus Christ. Well, are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm back, guys. Sorry, I'm good. I'm good.
She's putting on this big song and dance about how gross and disgusting this was when it was her idea. She's doing this just to make him feel even worse and put on a show for her chat at this guy's expense. Like, oh, this loveless loser virgin flew all the way here and, oh, I just had to kiss him. Like, that's so mean. And this should be a wake-up call to her chat that, like, donates money to her under this idea that she's going.
And another thing I just thought about too, as Charlie brings that up, is it's kind of sad. Like, I'm 28 years old. If you're like 16 and you're watching this, maybe, it might get you down the incel pipeline a little bit. It might, and if you already have like maybe some issues where you don't like your mom, or you don't have any women in your life, this can perpetuate the hatred you have towards women and probably make it worse. Because then you see this, and it's really easy to be on the internet and see one thing and then draw a conclusion, and that's the thing. You get the conclusion, and you run, and that's it. You don't have to watch anything else because we're too lazy now. We don't have to look into anything else, or we don't have to experience things. Just you see it and you go. I think that's what's sad about it. But let's play a little bit more of this.
Going to like them or something like that, or parasocially donating to her because they think that they're going to be friends or even more than that. This should be the biggest wake-up call. Your third eye should be fucking beaming from your forehead right now with this out there. This is her mod, someone who literally, like, does a ton for her. And this is how he's getting treated in front of everybody. That's what she thinks of you as well. Now, like I said, it's not just this viral moment here. The very beginning of the stream comes out fucking guns blazing, going hog wild about this guy having no shot with her and that she doesn't even really respect him at all.
Yeah, Dilly's living the dream. Aren't you so happy to be here?
Yeah. It's my dream, y'all.
Yeah, I've been posting pictures of Dilly every single day on Discord, and this guy cannot hang. Dilly's eyes are fucked. It's because I have cats and he's allergic, and he has allergy medicine. Doesn't he look like Gru from Despicable Me? Sorry, every time I see Dilly, I just start laughing.
This is the very...
So, you can see right here, she's kind of like already pointing fingers at him, and she's already giving him a hard time. And it's precisely because that's how they wanted this stream to ensue. Some people have already commented on other posts I've seen saying, well, that's how SupCaitlyn is. She plays the bit. And this guy later on, like, I'm gonna fast forward through Charlie's video a little bit right here to let you see another moment from this stream real quick. So here you go.
For her stream.
Cute couple, baby, you're not dating. I did not claim this.
Yo.
Sorry, that's so mean, but don't claim it. So yeah, 1 hour stream, so every minute counts. I made a donation goal of $500. I will kiss Dilly. So we hit it. But hopefully, I will be drunk for that. Let's take the first shot of the night, yeah? Is it too early?
No. Cheers.
The way she responded to the...
So there's that, and then here, I'm going to play another quick moment for you guys. I want everyone to get like full context on this, and I'm using the clips from Charlie's video because I think he pulled some classy moments.
Pants. So I think Dilly threw away his chunky throat pants in the trash. Dilly had the same size hands.
No,
Oh my god. You have baby hands.
No way.
Yeah, we have the same size hands. That means you have a small dick.
So right there, again, I know I said this, but even though I already know this is a bit, Charlie then took this, like, you can see that, like, he didn't even account for it being a bit, and while I think this is a pretty good take that he has on the matter, you know, I'll show you what he said about it.
The astute observers out there will have noticed that I put the stream to 2x speed during her story times, and I'll openly admit to it. The reason is because it was genuinely painful listening to her tell those stories because it's just shitting on Dilly. She's putting him on blast as frequently as possible, sharing his most embarrassing moments, so giving his lowlights. Here's the worst of moments with Dilly. Here's what Dilly did that was so embarrassing last night. You guys need to hear this. It's just, again, so unnecessarily mean. And then, of course, she has to do something about penis size. So she says, we have the same size hands, which means you have a tiny dick. Your hands aren't even the same size. His hands are visibly bigger than yours. But again, this is just being rude for the sake of it. Nobody is meaner to tier 3 subs or Twitch mods than the streamer themselves, it seems. She is so much nastier to her mod than anyone on Twitter has ever been to any mod for any streamer ever. Now, there are a couple times in the stream that she says that they're good friends, so it's all, in good fun. And what a load of dirty barnacles. I think she says that to try and convince Dilly, and Dilly, he believes it. Dilly's bought into that fantasy.
Okay. So this is, you can see Charlie's take on this situation. He right there said like it's a bunch of bullshit. And I don't think that's okay to do. First off, again, I know I said this, I'll repeat myself one more time. Bit or not, I just don't think this whole entire stream had to have been done. I think things could have been better without it. But the reason she's precisely digging this deep and going, oh, small penis, small hands, is precisely because it's outrage bait. Someone's gonna clip that, put that on the internet, and then go, oh, look at how terrible this woman is. Look how terrible women treat men on the internet. And it's gonna go down the incel pipeline. But the other side of it is also like women should not, first off, I want to make this very clear so people watching my stream don't go, oh, you're just sticking up because she's a woman. Like, I want to make this part very clear. It is by no means okay for any woman to be treating a guy like this. There's no world in which this treatment is okay. I don't care what the situation is. I just think these things should not be said. I have my hands like this. You should never say these things. But nonetheless, we could have been better without this stream. And I do want to play just like a quick little blurb from this stream because I have it. I have it just right here, ready and local. So let's see if I can play this real quick.
We're done doing that. We all met up at some bar. And 5 minutes of going to the bar, Dilly throws up all over the entire floor, like fucking chunks. Like chunky ass throw up. And it smelled really bad. It was really embarrassing. So there was throw up all over his shirt, all over his pants. Oh my god. Sorrow, thank you for 100 or 10,000 bits. Thank you so much.
So she's now taking the public embarrassment route. Now, if I had someone for the first time on my stream that I invited over, I don't know that I could ever like play sort of a bit with them or whatever. Like, if they're your friend, they're your supporter, especially this guy who, with the context that I have now, is not being paid, which I will show you proof of that later on when he mentions that. Because I'm going to get into this section of this where Charlie hops on a phone call with this guy and talks to him because he wanted to talk to him about all this stuff because I think he probably saw Charlie's video because he's a Charlie watcher. But this guy didn't get paid to be her mod and still is not being paid to be her mod, which is like he's kind of doing work for clout or whatever it is, or work so that he gets exposure. And that's a whole conversation itself I don't want to dig into right now. I'll just say this, I'm not big on work for exposure. Not a big believer in that. I think everyone should be paid for their work, regardless. But, yeah, so it's a weird situation. Then he comes, while he's doing this work he's not being paid for, comes here to get shit on for the bit. And if you're a guy hearing these things, like, these are, like, I'm not gonna, like, not me personally, but I know there's a lot of guys out there with, like, the very fears of things she's playing the bit on, which also kind of screws it over for a lot of guys. It makes guys feel inferior to women, which sucks. So that, the public embarrassment route, not freaking cool. I'm gonna continue playing this part. Let's see.
Right? We gave him a trash bag, and all you hear from Jilly is like you hear liquid coming out, and he's holding this trash bag full of like brown liquid. And I told him, please just leave it on the street, just leave it, like throw it away. And Dilly would just kept holding his brown liquid bag all day. I don't know. It was a rough night, but then he.
And then we walked home, and then he spit on his shirt, and then I saw spit going down his shirt, and then he sneezed, and then I saw snot. Like, how many goddamn details do we need here? She's like, you could almost paint a picture of his like step-by-step move that night with the kind of details she's providing here. Like, it's just, you're watching this and your brain is like too much. It's like the guy in the office that's oversharing for no reason, that won't shut the fuck up.
He fell asleep at someone's apartment, and we're all good. That was day 1. And then day 2 was fine. We went to Universal Studios. I got exposed. I thought you could tell from the Discord photos, like he was fucked up. Are you having fun though?
Yeah.
And so you can see right there, people in the Twitch stream are saying, why do you have to expose him like that? Like, there's people that are questioning this, because, yeah. Now, on her side of things, she's doing this for the frickin' bit, as I've already mentioned, and it's going to get a lot of traction because of this. It's sad that we've divulged this far on the internet, that we've reached a place of having to really, really dig deep in the internet and do some terrible things just to get attention. This is what gets attention now. You can't be like a normal guy that is like, you can't be normal. No more being normal. You have to be weird for people to, and as soon as this hits Twitter, boom, this shit blows up. So I think that's the part that kind of blows me too, but I'll play a little bit more of this.
How do drugs get?
Yeah, this is why we don't smoke weed. I don't smoke weed either, because I know how I get. I just choose not to smoke. Yeah, day 2 was fine. He did throw up this morning, though. He was on the phone with Victoria. Oh, Victoria, and he was throwing up on FaceTime. I don't know why you did that either. Is that a kink? Do you get off on throwing up around women?
Like, there's just, like, he's sick, dude. He mentions, like, his allergies are acting up, and he was, like, kind of sick. So it's like, you just don't, some of these things don't need to be on stream. I'm going to fast forward to, like, another part here, because they ended up playing, like, this game where, like, the chat would ask questions. So let's see. Watch this.
You're like,
Can you guys hear him? Oh, yeah.
You're like way nicer.
See? I'm really nice. I already knew that, though. Evil, thank you for...
Okay, maybe it was way later on, but she continues basically throughout this part of it, she continues to harass him and play the bit. I think I've made that part very clear. Now, let's move on to the Charlie call, because Charlie went pretty hard on this while mentioning that this guy's a pretty normal guy. So they had a little call where they talked about it a little bit. And in the beginning of this call, there was a comment from Dr. Dilly. It says, I have no reason to lie. Me and Kate have been friends for some time now. Outside of streaming, she has done a lot for me in my personal growth. I want people to understand that I'm doing well. I value our friendship and understand that what was said can be hurtful. I decided to come to Kate's to make my vacation all worthwhile. And it was my idea for us to do streams together, knowing there would be some jokes and banter. I have no regret on being her friend and doing content with Caitlyn. Which, when I first saw this, my initial take was that this is Cope. He was... And it's kind of weird because it makes you feel like he's holding on to this friendship when he really doesn't have to, after her, like, playing a bit and shitting on him. And he's just kind of taking in the bit. And it's like, even if it's a bit, you can, as a guy, like, I feel like you can only take in so much before it actually is kind of like, woo. Like, it actually kind of can get to you, regardless of your age. I think if I were in his seat and playing the bit or whatever, I think maybe about 5 or 6 insults in, it might get to me pretty well. Now that's all, of course, person to person. Some people are more sensitive than others, of course. I know some people are not very sensitive, and some people might view that as "Oh man, well you're sensitive. That wouldn't affect me. What do you mean, brother?" And that's okay too. That's like I said, it's everyone else to each their own. But let's watch this.
Crazy to cross my mind, but I gotta speak my mind and speak my truth.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I do appreciate it. Hold on. I'm leaking our DMs immediately here. That took almost 0 seconds. Okay, perfect. All right, we're in business.
We're in business.
All right, so your name's Dylan. Is that okay if I call you that?
Out to her and wanted to get her PC set up kind of right. So I reached out to her and wanted to get her PC set up kind of right. So that's kind of like the lore is that I'm her PC sponsor. So we met initially 2 years ago, and I built her computer, and then just kind of hit it off as friends, and then I became kind of a mom.
Now, there's a couple things here that crack me up. First off, he's doing this in her house. I mean, you can see the SupCaitlyn thing with the SupCaitlyn sign turned off. Hassan called this half mass, which is funny, but it makes it hilarious that he's doing this from a place. So people initially saw it and said, well, yeah, he probably feels pressure because he's at her place. And to that, I say, yeah, I'm sure there's some filter to this, but not to me. I can tell he has good intentions. He's trying to say what he actually feels. There might be some stuff that he didn't say, but I think he got his point across pretty well throughout this. Now, it is a 42-minute call, so I'm not going to go through all of it because it starts to kind of feel the same after a while, but I'll hit different points in it for you guys so we don't have to see necessarily the whole thing, but I'll give you you can get a good flavor of it.
Doing more behind-the-scenes work for content-related stuff, and just kind of had a personal relationship with kind of, how tight-knit with that kind of stuff kind of goes around with a content creator.
Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, how close would you say you guys are? Do you guys talk every day? Do you guys play games together off stream? What does that dynamic look like?
Yeah, so we do play games off stream together. She is super into Valorant, and she's made me probably a way better player than just from our friendship and just having our banter and just going back and forth on stuff like that. So I just I've gotten better at games thanks to her and our time off stream. And then we talk pretty much every week because we have obviously so I want to tell people that I came and visited and I'm on vacation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, let's do.
Now, one of the funny things, I'm going to show you guys this real quickly, is kind of like a PR day for this guy. And you're going to say, what do you mean by that? Well, I'll show you right here. Homeboy was over here speaking to Amaranth. And I find this rather funny because he made his rounds. Yeah, he made his rounds. And he also, I think I had this clip up here. This is the Jake Lucky clip. I'll show you guys in a little bit. But basically, yeah, he made his rounds on the internet today. And then the other clip, the other part that I'll have up here is, see if I can find it. He obviously made his rounds over to Hassan's stream. So I'll get into this part in a little bit because I think he finally had time to process this whole situation. There was another stream he's on that I'm not finding right now, but he had time to process the situation. I think his best take was in this Hassan stream. So we will get to that in just a little bit. So stay tuned. But I'm going to continue this call because this call is very entertaining.
Some streams together, right? So I know how to cook, and I know she's into cooking streams.
Let him cook!
We would do a drinking stream, right? So that's just kind of what happened. I was like, oh, let's make the most out of my trip because it was super last minute, and she was super accommodating for a last minute idea. So
now, I think all of that content idea sounds super logical, but did you discuss you being the subject of all of the jokes I'm using that word real loosey-goosey here, because in my
Yeah.
opinion, it's less jokes and more just deep cut insults. And I know you're at her house right now, so it might be a little uncomfortable to get serious about it, but
No, I mean, I've thought about it and just like, I've been kind of shifting, I've been in a character arc development.
He's trying to become the Dizzler, dude. Let him cook. Let him become the Dizzler.
Right, so I've been taking more initiative on being a part of her content, right? So like she does other content like dating shows and interviews, therapy, just chatting meta, right? And I have recently became like a co-host, a personality that's a regular on her chat, and the personality I like to give is like my nickname's the Dizzler, hence the rise of the Riz, a Rizzler, Dizzler, right?
right.
So initially the idea was, oh, if I got a kiss, it'd be like hype, be W's, it's pushing that Dizzler narrative that I've been working on because I've been doing co-hosting, wingmanning for guys, helping the girls that do the content we do together. And because to talk to girls, you have to have some kind of competency, and like to have the competency to teach them how to work on the Riz, right? So like I have to have that kind of confidence to talk to them, not back down and like, oh, I'm a Discord mod, this and that. You just say I'm a normal guy that talks to people that just happens to mod for SupCaitlyn. That's just what happened.
Yeah, and I get that. That's not really like
Okay.
where I'm confused on the relationship or anything. But you already mentioned the kiss. Like, did you expect that kind of response when that donation goal was hit, where she'd start just like dry heaving, like she, trying to throw up, like as if you were so unbelievably revolting that she had to run away, rinse out her mouth, fucking say a prayer or something for forgiveness because of kissing you? Like, there's no way that was a joke you knew was coming, or like this was the content you envisioned.
I wasn't shocked from it because we've discussed, like our friendship is like brother sister, and then
This is the part. This is the part that I found particularly odd about this call. So he wasn't shocked because their relationship is like brother sister. So if my brain's processing this right, what he's saying is they can do that because they feel like brother and sister, so he would kiss his sister? Is that like I've seen this clip like twice now. And I like that's what comes into my head. I hope I'm not viewing that wrong.
then if you put your mindset on like, she only kisses someone very seldomly, if at all, right? That she has to kiss someone that she sees as like a little brother, and I can understand that. I wouldn't want to kiss my older sister and be,
Yeah, so then he says I wouldn't kiss my older. I know. I know. That's the thing about this. That's what's like making it a hard watch, because it's like funny and unhinged all at once. Like there's so many parts of this that I like actually laugh at, but then there's parts of it that I'm like, what? Huh?
Is that okay? So is that the relationship you feel you have with her, a brother sister? Do you rate like everything in that stream? I watched it. You were extremely sweet and complimentary of her, like not as a sister, but as someone who's clearly more interested than that. Do you feel it's a brother sister relationship, or just the way?
Brother sister, because I feel like when you mentioned something about like romantic interest, is like if that's the case, I wouldn't be invited to her place. I wouldn't be living here in her personal space, right?
Wait, and this is the other part. I'm glad I'm like going through this because, okay, he said if that was the case, I wouldn't be invited to her place. If I guess there's two sides to this, right? Like there's the side of it that's like he's right because she wouldn't invite him over because she wouldn't have his trust as a mod to come over, right? So that part that front he's right on. But then if she was interested in him outside of that, as a more relationship context, then wouldn't she? Yeah, she would invite him over, right? Like invite him over to see him, right? Am I? So it's like I don't know. It's some weird territory there.
So that's the agreement and our trust and friendship, to kind of keep it at that content level, and just like kind of understand that we are here to try to entertain. Now, did it achieve that goal? Kind of, sort of, but yeah, I do see her as like an older sister. That's how I have to perceive it, right?
Do you see why that's kind of hard for me to believe? Like, you gave her a 10 out of 10 on the hotness scale. When it was asked, would you hit, you were like, yeah, I'd definitely hit. She's like, I definitely wouldn't. Or, are you two dating? No, I don't claim him. Things like that. Even though it's, with the things you said, it feels like it's not brother-sister on your end. It feels more like she keeps you there because that's how she wants it to feel. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and that's just because I'm just super in tune of like what the content we were looking to push out, right? It's just like, because if I say, nah, I wouldn't hit. Oh, she's a 7 out of 10. Oh, that just means I'm just saying it just to say it, because if I don't mean it, or like don't think my friend is all that, then because I got to be honest with myself at some points. Like I think it's okay to make not direct compliments, but like if we're in that situation, just be honest, and it's.
So then, are you happy with this kind of content that gets made at your expense, where she's saying things like, "Oh, your hand's tinier than mine," which means, or we're the same size hands, so you have a tiny dick, or I'd rather go with my ex who emotionally abused me and traumatized me than date you for 6 months. Is that like good content to you? Like, is that a good relationship?
I would say, I'm the guest, and that's just what came out of her mouth. I can't control.
But then just tell me, regardless of what you can control, how did that make you feel? Did that feel like content, or did that feel like, oh, that didn't feel good?
And part of this too, I think we're in like a weird gray area online, because you see people going out in public on TikTok doing things that they would that they would otherwise not do in real life, but they're now taking it to real life. Things like the street interviews, right? We've seen those unhinged weirdos online that go up and go, "Oh, what's your pronouns?" like to people out in public. And it's like, they're not going to work doing that kind of crap, but they're going out in the street doing it, and they're like putting on this character for TikTok, because that's how they are on TikTok. And I just don't think I'm comfortable with this, like playing this other, like, I think it's called NPC role in public, where you don't have to treat people like other human beings. You just treat them like the character that you're being, regardless of how someone else may or may not feel about that. I don't think I like that. I think it's gross. I don't think it has any longevity to it. I think it caters to a lot of young kids. They're like, find this funny. But I think the whole playing a character thing is just, I guess it's almost like, I hate to say this, but it's almost like easy content, because that it's going to get the clicks and the views, and there's not much thinking to it. You can be as dumb as you want, and it's like the lowest form of content. There's like, if you were to ask someone about this piece of content, not this video, but like I guess this video probably included too, but other videos in this realm of things where you're playing a character, by the time 10 years goes by, people are already forgetting about this. Whereas maybe you watch a video today that was like, this is the best trick for editing videos. You're going to remember that video like 10 years from now, because it's something you learned, right? Same way I learned how to use computers when I was a little kid, by watching videos on how to use a computer and change out hardware and shit. Now I'm 28 years old, and that was something I learned when I was like 9. I still remember it. I think you get where I'm going with that.
at all to hear you say those things. You care about her. Even if it's a brother-sister dynamic that you're saying, you clearly care about her. And for her to say something like that and meaner throughout the stream, did that feel like content, or did it feel like she was taking these extremely rude jabs at you?
I just didn't take it personally because I just feel like, like we both had to reassure each other whatever had been said, or what, like, I could have dished out more. I could have been like, I'm way better than your ex. What the fuck are you trying to say?
See,
right?
And that's where I'm even more confused, because you
Right.
and Caitlyn keep saying it's banter. Banter is an exchange. This was a one-handed fucking wallop here, where all she was doing was insulting you. Throughout the stream, you made one slight joke about her and kind of got uncomfortable and backpedaled it. That's not banter. This was you being there for her to just spit on, like a trash can, basically.
Right.
Like that. And if we're going the content route, wouldn't you want to be the Dizzler who's like, no, I'm actually way above her? Or like when she's going in for the kiss, you stand up and you walk away. That would be more content brained than what happened here, which is why I feel like this doesn't really add up.
Right. And, I think everyone was kind of seeing me struggle with my cat allergy thing, right? So I just was already trying to hold it together and just like trying not to fuck it up even more, already as fucked as it, right? Because like if people who know me as my personality as the Dizzler, right?
Mhm.
There are times where like she'll have me come on and talk, and I'll be like, so when are you coming over and we're gonna do it? I'm like, nah, I'm good, because like I'm talking to whatever, right? Because
When I guess I still don't know the Dizzler. I mean, there's the Rizzler, right? So the Dizzler is like the opposite of a Rizzler, right? Is that what the Dizzler is supposed to be? Is that why he just said that he would be like, oh no, because he's the opposite, right? Maybe I'm wrong in this. I don't know what the Dizzler is. I mean, I know it's his character that he's putting on, but I don't know what it actually means. Does it actually mean something? Can someone tell me?
part of helping her with her content, I have to talk to a lot of women, and I joke about like, no, don't worry about me. You already done enough for me, or whatever, right? So it's just like there's moments where like she'll throw it out there, and then it's up to me to like take that content or like mold it to what I want it to be. It's just that day is an extreme version of pushing it on this is a Discord mod, this is a Twitch mod. He's in my fucking house, and I have to kiss him. That was the.
But why do you settle for that? Like why be that guy? You're not a bad looking guy. You're not a weird guy too. Like you break the mold of like that stereotypical creepy weirdo mod who's gonna be like snorting panties out the wazoo or whatever.
Quick cut. This is a perfect cut for this. Check this out. He breaks the mold for the panty sniffers, huh?
So I only watched one panty.
Okay. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Sounds like the game. Yeah. 10 out
Do
of
you want
10.
to keep it?
God, dude. Watch this,
Do you
watch.
want to keep it? You can take it home.
Okay, I'll put it in my shirt pocket. Can you stuff it in my shirt pocket?
Yeah. I actually like that pair. I'll give you a different one later.
Okay, yeah.
See?
She pays her mods.
I pay my mods.
Yippee!
Yay!
Paid in
I don't know why
panties,
you said
brother.
mods. I guess he gets to keep that. I like that pair a lot. I want to switch it out.
Oh, God. That is... What have I just witnessed? This is bringing tears to my eyes. Yeah, dude. Look how bad this is. This is like... Now, I'm going to continue the call a little bit, but there's a point where he gets to say his piece. So I'm going to get to that, where he says his truth. But before I get into that, we're going to continue the call. The one and only call with the Dizzler, to see what more the Dizzler had to say.
Why settle for being that to her?
This is weird. This is really weird. the Dizzler's a mashup of his name and Rizzler.
It's just, I think it just comes down to what I've done beforehand to get to this point. And it's just, I had recently gotten out of a 5-year relationship.
Okay, right here. This is a very interesting revelation. He mentions that he had just got out of a 5-year relationship. Now, something about that. When you are at this point in your life, this might be a little bit extreme to put it this way, but I'm going to give you the most extreme form of it so that you understand it. Think about when you've had someone pass away in your life. You are at I'd say within that week, you're probably at a very vulnerable state, right? Emotionally. And not that it hits the exact same way, but when you get out of a relationship, you're going to be at a fairly emotional state of mind. And when you're there, you kind of come out of things a couple different ways. You come out of it and you just kind of have this, you want to be like really nice to people no matter what. Cause you're pretty, again, you're emotionally like vulnerable. You kind of you take a lot for some reason. You don't really know how to process your own thoughts. There's a lot of different pieces of that. So I say that to say that I think in that event, it made it seem a lot worse because he was used as sort of, kind of was like a punching bag with the way that he wasn't going back and forth with her, as Charlie mentioned. But we'll continue. I want to show you guys this.
Right? And I decided to take this trip and just kind of like use it as soul searching. And a part of that is I'm still going to have some tendencies that I left behind or carry with me, right? So I'm just the guy to take it all in and burden it. And that's just something I've been working on.
But even the way you're describing it, burdening it, but why? Why do that? Like, you're not a weirdo. You don't need to be taking this burden from her saying these extremely disrespectful things to your face and having her chat dogpile you for being mod in my house, red alert, oh my god, I have to kiss this guy. You're not a 6 out of 10, I would have said that. Like, why take that? That's not a healthy relationship. Like, I don't know how she treats you off stream. If she's extremely sweet to you when the cameras aren't on, and then she treats you like this when the cameras are on, I mean, she's fake, and she is embarrassed of you, and that's, again, not healthy. I talked about this right before you joined. It's kind of like, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. Kids, they'll have like a friend group, and there's usually like someone in that friend group that is just a punching bag. It's not really a friend, and that person doesn't feel like they really belong there, but they also don't want to leave because it's still that group. So they just take it, and it's not good. It doesn't feel good. And that's what all of this seemed like to me. It doesn't seem content brain, because if it was all like, the Dizzler's marching through, we better hide your bitch, the satin panty's gonna be flying out the door, Dizzler's here, I feel like you would have turned down the kiss. You would have said, actually, you're a 6 out of 10. That would have been you laying into that persona. And if she was playing along with it for content, she'd be like, oh no, he's not gonna fuck me, but when we go to this club, damn, it's about to get wild out there, it's gonna pop. But none of that happened. It felt...
I want to see real quickly, while Charlie brought this to my attention, I'm just going to do a quick, like, YouTube's real talk. Charlie should be a therapist or something. He should, low-key. I want to search something here. I'm going to search the Rizzler. Let's see. Gay. Okay, there's no good clips of it. Maybe this. Let's see.
And my shoes,
To be honest,
and my accent, and my face, and my nose, and my eyes, and my
I never
teeth,
laughed at your
and my
face or your
lips,
nose, never.
and my everything.
I never laughed at any of those.
Why?
Can I tell you the truth?
Yes.
Why make fun of your accent?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Uh,
To be honest?
See?
Okay, that wasn't what I was hoping to find. I was hoping to find, like, an example of someone who's, like, being a freaking Rizzler. And I don't know why the stupid Rizzler crap got so popular. I was hoping it'd be much easier to find a quick example of this. But let's hop back into this call real quick.
Felt more like she used you to just insult perpetually, to bring you down, to put up this I don't want to use the word facade because I don't know her, but to put up this whole barrier like this guy doesn't have a chance, let's laugh at him. And that's not good. Like that's no one deserves that kind of treatment.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you how it's a formula, right? This is what it boils down to is her personality, right? So the reason why I agreed to do some of the things that happened is because I separate the person from the streamer, the content creator from the person. I'm friends with the person, and whatever it is, like for example, right? It could have been a super hot guy, and he could have had some kind of ick, like play, I don't know, Rocket League, or he plays League of Legends, but he's like amazing, everything. She's like, ew, you play League of Legends? Like, I don't know if this will work. Or, just like make witty comments about something she might not like just because it's contrary. It is, not controversial, but it can be. It's opposing, right? So for it could have been anybody, right? And it just happened to be me. It's not the first time she's kissed somebody on stream, right? Or like do content and it's controversial. So it just happened to be.
No, here's what I didn't bring up yet. The way that he responds, the reason why I initially watched this and felt like it was cope was because he kind of is like running defense sort of for this whole character and avoiding Charlie's questions of why this is the way he's acting and why he's not like, putting up the actual like Rizzler ways about going about this whole thing. He's instead just kind of like taking Charlie's question and running from it. And I think Charlie addresses that right here.
My turn. And, I kind of understand the things and not the science, but like just understand I have to set my feelings aside and just understand if I'm going to do content that it's what it strictly is.
It doesn't but it doesn't have to be that way. But you mentioned something that I want to point out. I went through and watched how she interacts with other friends of hers in the space, like Hassan and everyone like that. Why doesn't she treat them the same way she treated you? What's the deal with that then? How come she's able to do other content with other guys that aren't her perpetually insulting them the entire time, but you, the only content she does with you is to make you the punching bag? Why?
Okay, so like she's not like for Hassan example, right? She went over and just kind of say the reality was like we just did a stream together. He was a nice guy.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, but she was also honest saying like I'm not super into that kind of content of political, right? But she appreciated the offer, right? So she will be real and separate herself for a moment and just say this is what happened, yada yada yada, right? This is not like I don't know. It's just it's hard to kind of like it's just like when you're on someone's team, right? And you don't want to mess up that dynamic, right? You're understanding that we're all playing parts on a team, right? And yeah, my role on that team is kind of fucked up, but some people are built that kind of way to be like put that stress on my shoulders and just like because they care about people, and that's just how I felt going into it.
And it's one side.
This guy kind of feels like while he's nice, he makes himself feel like he has to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders when he doesn't have to. And it sounds a lot like, and this isn't me making a final conclusion on him or something, but at least in this point in the call is what I'm referring to. He makes it feel as if like this exact problem, he should be holding on to it just to hold on to their friendship. And he might not be able to be her mod anymore or something like that. I'm going to give you guys a quick little distraction from the call real quickly and bring you over to the quick little Amaranth moment right here with him, because this was definitely interesting. Okay, I'll show you this real fast, just for change of pace. Let's see.
Don't mind means you're kind of used to it, even if that was a more extreme version, because like you're allowing the more extreme version and you're not really feeling that it's that uncomfortable because you're aware about the content aspect, right?
Right.
But like in general, I feel like you don't really get the kind of respect from women that you hoped that you would get. But some attention is better than nothing.
I think you got it. Yeah, I think you got it spot on.
Yep. So he's kind of going with like this idea that he's got the attention that he needs to get certain attention from women, I guess, from what I got from that clip, which is, I guess, I don't know. It's so bizarre.
The fact that you don't mind
let's
means
see.
you're kind of
Which is just so, and I think Amaranth had a good take on that. But I want to show you actually real quick. I want to go over here and show you the other distraction. So this is where he got to say his piece. Let's see it.
All right, y'all. This is my platform. I'm gonna tell y'all. This is the real me speaking here. Kate's been a great friend to me since I've been out here. We've had fun every single night. She's done things that she personally didn't want to do, but for me, she would do it. And
To those who say it's quiet, I know it's kind of a quiet stream. I don't know why, but you have to bump your volume up a little bit to hear this part. It's even quiet for me. I got my volume cranked. My desktop audio is at the last before it peaks.
now what we banter or like joke about with each other, that's like, I won't take it to heart because me and her are still friends at the end of the day. And like, I have tough skin, and and I just want to let y'all know that words can be hurtful sometimes, but I'm good. I'm great. All right. So, whatever the internet says is the internet.
How much she paying you? They think I'm paying you to say this.
She's not paying me anything. Y'all.
I've never paid Dilly in my life. But yeah, see, this is what I don't get, right? Dilly has stated, even before this stream, that he was okay with it. We talked when this shit was blowing up. I talked to him in person, like I said, right? And I asked him, like, do you have a problem with anything I said? He said no. So if he's not mad, why are you guys mad? Like, he's obviously okay. He's fine. Why are you guys mad for him when he's not even upset? I don't think you guys are even mad about what happened. You guys are gonna be mad at a person just to be hateful, Like, if he's not upset, why are you? He's lying. You can be honest. You can roast me straight to my face. Say whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's like, if I want to joke about it, I'll joke, right? Like, I might mess with her a lot today.
There's definitely something about this that, like, in my own brain at least, like, even though I'm reacting to this and, like, there's funny parts and there's parts I'm like, what the fuck? There's definitely, like, a part in all of us, I think, that likes watching these, like, weird things unfold on the internet that makes it entertaining. That's, like, even though it's not content we'd watch, just watching these weird things roll out is a fascinating piece of content, enough so that my brain enjoys, like, watching it for reaction purposes, and just for fun, silly internet. I think you gotta stir the pot with the internet drama oftentimes. You gotta have some silly, goofy, weird shit. That's what makes it fun.
If I see something wrong with her cooking.
Yeah.
So, I think you'll see a little bit more of my actual self.
Thank you, Gabby, for
The Rizzler's going to come out.
Everything that I've heard today, I've already heard a million times in my chat before. Just not in this level of at the same time because of that fucking video. But yeah, like I said, if he's okay with it, why are you guys mad for him? Okay? And people are asking for an apology video. Why the fuck would I apologize to you guys? Like, I'm not apologizing to you. I already talked to Dilly off stream, like I said.
Now, I think this is the unfortunate part of it. And I don't have firsthand accounts of this, but I've only heard a couple people say it already, is that unfortunately once these situations blow up, like on Twitter, they blow up in things like 3.8 million views in Charlie's video. Maria's late. No worries. Thanks for being here. The unfortunate end of this is that once these things blow up and kind of go big on the internet, does come harassment with it, especially when it hits Twitter. Things like death threats, all sorts of different things like that. People come out and, oh, you have to apologize. Because at the end of the day, we did realize this is a bit, but it's not one for the better. I don't think this should be a continued thing they should do. I think it's weird. I think it should stop. They should figure out some other plan here because this is not drawing the right audience. But I just don't. Yeah, I just don't think this thing should continue. I don't think she should receive death threats or any kind of harmful messages from this. And I think stuff like Charlie's videos unfortunately caused things like that to kind of gain traction. So if you are someone watching this, do not go to her socials or anything. I know I'm like showing her stream and stuff like that on here. So if you're maybe a silent viewer of mine or something, don't go to her socials. You don't need to send her a message. You don't need to go in her stream, go, oh, what's going on? You can leave her alone. Leave everyone alone. I don't think people deserve to be harmed or hated for on the internet. They need to figure out something else though, for sure.
I am not apologizing to random people on the internet who are hurt on his behalf. Kiss said, fuck no, I don't want to kiss him. Here's the thing, right? I don't know if men are so entitled to women's affection and touch. I don't owe anyone a kiss. The kiss is a troll thing I do. It's not the first time I've done it, by the way. I've done a lot of kissing donut goals with other guests I brought on. I act the same way with every fucking kid. I'm sure there's clips out there somewhere. I don't want to kiss him. I don't want to fucking kiss him. I don't want to. It's not. And what's weird is I never said anything about Dilly's appearance, literally ever. You watch the whole VOD, it's public. I've never once. Sorry, my cats are going crazy right now. I've never once roasted his appearance, right? So everyone's saying like, oh, he's not bad looking, he's not ugly. You don't want to kiss him because he's ugly. That's not even why. I've literally known this guy for so long. To me, he's like my little brother. You know what I mean? Like he's like my nerdy little brother. Why would I want to kiss someone that I see in like in a family almost way? Also, you can turn on slow-mo. I don't really care. My mods turned it on, I guess. You guys can turn it off. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, so I don't want to kiss even, not even trolling. We would never kiss each other. We're literally friends. It's like to the point where we're like siblings. So yeah. He called him Gru. If you guys have ever watched my stream, I call everyone that, okay?
Check to notify
and I roast
stream
myself
today.
just as much as I roast.
No worries for being late. I came on a little bit late myself. I came on at 9:30 today because I was trying to watch Hassan stream, which we're going to get to in just a second. I'm going to go back to the call and then go back over to Hassan's stream because I think there's a couple little moments from the call to talk about still. But go over to Hassan's stream to get his now updated like thoughts on this by day end. Because I think that's where we hear the kind of more, we hear kind of a sillier side to it. Let's see. Same. I should have checked. Yeah, I'll be on. Sorry, I missed the last couple days of stream too because I was working. But I'll be on. Good news for you guys. I'll be on stream tomorrow and maybe Wednesday night potentially if I don't end up at a show. If I do go on Wednesday night, it'll be late. Let's see. Bro just got friend zoned. Yeah, I kind of unpacked a lot, Maria. It's kind of hard to explain it all real quickly. I mean, I'll kind of, even if you're someone that's just watching, to kind of real fast, I guess, sum it back up. It's kind of hard to, but it was like this Twitch mod, Caitlyn, she invited this guy over who's her mod, and he's playing this bit called the Dizzler, but lo and behold, we didn't know any of this about them playing the bit, and there was just this stream, and she was basically like shitting on him as this bit, being like, oh, he's whatever all those things she was saying, his small hands, and doing that kiss, and that really awkward kiss, and making him feel weird about it, and just like shunning him in every way possible, playing the bit, and he wasn't bouncing back, and then we went to a Charlie call, because Charlie talked to him about it after the fact. This is him like saying his piece. It's kind of hard to explain it all. You can go back and watch it later on. It's really hard to kind of sum it up. That's sort of it. He's just like a brother to me. Yep. I feel like her rant is just really embarrassing. Yeah, it is. It kind of is embarrassing, and I'll go over to it a little bit more.
Other people, in case you have ever seen my streams, I'm self-deprecating. Okay, actually, maybe slow-mo does help because I can't really reach that. It's going a little too fast. So now here saying, oh my god, friend zone. I don't know if you guys have friends who are women, but sometimes it's nice to have friends of the opposite gender and not want anything.
I'm kind of a mixed bag on this because while she goes, I'm self-deprecating. Why is self-deprecation supposed to be viewed as like self-deprecation? Like, yeah, sure, it can be used. I'm not gonna be like no jokes. Like, we all have self-deprecation jokes, right? It's part of like being a comedian. Like, you start off with like self-deprecation, right? You make the audience, and then you bring them back up. Like, that's just how comedy works. But for like constant self-deprecation to be like your thing on the internet. Like, I find that a little odd. Like, you shouldn't be, like, at a certain point of doing that so much, you're going to make people think that, like, they should be, like, you can only self-deprecate yourself so much, is what I'm trying to say, before you really feel like shit.
Beyond that. Polar, thank you for 1,000 bits. Welcome back. Moise's video was low-key incel rage. I mean, like I said, I actually watch
interesting.
Charlie's video every single fucking day. That's when I saw our video on my fucking YouTube homepage. I couldn't watch past the first, like, 20 seconds, to be honest. I started, like, crying. I was like, wow. Because, like, I get where he's coming from, right? Oh, exactly. Thank you, PokeStage, for this message. If Charlie really cared about Dilly, he would have messaged you or done the bare minimum. He only made that video because, one, obviously it's free content for him. Easy.
This is her responding to Charlie's video.
YouTube monetization. And second, I don't know, I just know he knows how big of an audience he has. And obviously my channel is not that difficult to find. I just think it's pretty irresponsible to make a video like that. Not encouraging, but low-key encouraging people to fucking bully me, you know? Want to see my DMs, guys? I had to mute all my notifications. It was like, oh, sorry. It was that bad. Let's see. This is my Instagram. Thank you for the bits, Troji. Let me go to my hidden request. But basically just people telling me to like die. Fuck you, bitch. Oh, I just posted a story, so I can't see the ones I saw. Kill yourself respectfully. You're a stupid fucking cunt. And what you did to your mom was sickening. You need to wake the fuck up to reality. You fugly slut. Take up a makeup, push up bra. What are you? Nothing. You deserve the absolute worst of your life. You guys talk to me like I like killed someone. You know what I mean? Like if I actually like killed.
And I'm a little mixed on this because while people should, like I already said, people should not send death threats. I made that very clear. People should not be sending messages like this. But and I'm not. It's hard to say this because it comes off as like victim blaming, right? But like I'm putting myself in her shoes. If I were making this kind of content, I would like actually think I'd sit there and think ahead of time, like what are the consequences? Because it's like this is like a thing that they're doing together. So I would think about like the consequences for doing this. Like, all right, if I'm gonna act like I'm shitting on a dude 24/7 who seems really nice, what is going to come with it? Like, that would be the first thing to come to my mind. For sure, like 100%. And I get that that's not everyone, but you have to evaluate that kind of thing if you're going to take this route on the internet. Like, you know that you're doing something that's going to draw attention. You know, if you're a bigger picture, this would hit, you know, CNN or whatever the big news source is. And you'd get messages from people or, you know, Rolling Stone or whatever it is. If you're going to do things to get attention, you're going to get larger sources, is what I'm trying to say. And with larger sources, you're going to get more people. And more people are going to send you messages. So it seems like the obvious outlier of this situation. It almost feels as if she didn't know this was coming, but it feels as if she knew what she was doing to get attention. Again, because of the outrage, right? I can't imagine, like, there's no part in my brain that says, like, she did this knowing that no one would watch this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be the most ridiculous take possible. To be like, yeah, I think she was just doing this for ha-has and whatever, thinking that no one would watch it. Like, it is the internet. It would be the exact same way as if I were to, like, cut stream right now and go on my channel and like cut up a bunch of like right-winger videos out of nowhere, even though I'm a leftist, but just go ahead and make a bunch of right-winger videos, like all these pro-insurrection videos or something, or pro-Donald Trump videos. Like, you can bet your ass I would wake up to like 50,000 views, 60,000 views, and, you know, people, I could share some like horrible things about like 4chan or like some terrible theories, and you can bet that I would get attention from that. Like, without a doubt, there's no question in my mind about that. So it feels a lot like that, is what I'm trying to say. You know, doing something like this isn't always easy to get across to people. It's much easier to take the insane route.
Someone and like did an actual crime, I would get it. Oh calling me a bully based on what I see in my DMs. I think you guys are the actual bully. Another one. You're actually a piece of shit human being. Deserve every bad thing that happens to you. You'll be preying on your downfall, burn in hell. I don't know, just little messages like that, basically. My whole inboxes on Instagram, Twitter, all like that. And I feel like if you guys listen to the VOD, nothing I said in that VOD is even comparable to my messages. You know?
Okay, so this is kind of all I wanted to go through with this particular part. Now,
yeah, so
let's move on over back to a little bit more of the call here, because there's another couple little important pieces I want to show.
Do you think she cares about you?
Yeah, genuinely. Like when I went through my breakup, she set me up to have a dating show. Like
That's using you for content again, though. That's
And this is the part that I think is kind of funny, because it's like, for some reason he has a hard time separating, like, it's funny, but it's kind of sad at once, because I feel like he has a hard time separating content and like his real life. He's kind of like at that point, because he was like, yeah, she put me on a dating show. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's not looking out for you. That's still using you for content, and this is at your weakest moment. You're most vulnerable. You've just gone through a traumatic experience, and she's immediately turning you into content.
I could have told her no. I could have said, let me wait.
But it's not your fault. I'm not putting any blame on your shoulders. Like, it's an opportunity. You're low right now because of this breakup, and now you have this girl who's like, hey, I've got a bunch of girls I can.
You have to wake up early tomorrow? No worries. Hey, thanks for hopping in, even if just for a little bit. I appreciate you, Maria. Have a good night. Get some nice sleep.
Put you with if you do it on my stream. It's immediately turning you into content. That makes me feel even worse about this relationship, because after you've gone through something, she immediately uses you for content.
Okay. I mean, but to be fair, I mean, like, if she's just using me, why am I staying at her place? Why didn't I just get an Airbnb or a hotel?
It adds to the content, having you there and keeping you around to constantly belittle and make it clear to her community, like, hey, this guy doesn't have a chance. Let's keep joking about it. It's all part of that same content cycle. Like, you are playing this role, which you have talked about, taking this burden, which you don't need to do. You're above that. And she is using this because it is part of the joke. Like, she is just farming this whole stigma of being a Twitch mod. He's not going to ever fuck me, but he can stay here and we're going to get content out of it by any means necessary. Here's an hour and 25 minutes of me shooting down everything he wants to do, everything he says, every advance, and make it clear I am disgusted by his presence. Now, if it's a role you want to play, I'm not going to tell you you're a bad guy for it. I just want you to realize it's not healthy. This isn't a real friendship dynamic at all. Again, if she's like really sweet to you off stream and treats you like this publicly, then she is two-faced and is not actually a friend to you. And what you just said about how when you went through a
Charlie is a full-on therapist, like, straight up.
very bad breakup, she immediately put you on a dating show, makes me feel like she is constantly just using you as this source for content to laugh at and have her chat laugh at. Because I haven't seen her interact with anybody else this way. I watched her interact with other people in the community.
So there's that. If you want to watch the rest of this call, you can just search Charlie call Twitch mod gets humiliated by Mice Critical Reacts. But I think one of my main takeaways is okay, so we're at 19 minutes right now. You can pick up from there. But like throughout this call, the dude doesn't seem very happy. Like even when I scrubbed forward a little bit.
I already love to know. It's just like, it's normal for me to hear that kind of stuff.
And that's
see right there. That was actually the perfect moment I was looking for. He's kind of still justifying it. He's like, it's kind of normal. Now I want to go over to I think we're ready for the Hassan, and I have actually. I mean, knows his shit when it comes to online behavior. Exactly. He knows his shit. He knows what drives the views. He knows, like I said this earlier, he knows how to act online. He knows that being just a regular guy on the internet is not going to get you views. But I want to go over to the Rizzler's call with the one and only Azan Piker. Let's watch it.
Sideways though, it didn't work. Never mind. Just keep it normal.
Okay.
Oh wait, it did. It did work. It did work. It worked. It worked.
Technology's great. All right. What's up? What's up, chat?
Okay.
What's up, everybody? So yeah, ask away. I feel like I've talked about it. Just giving it some time and just kind of like really thought about everything that's just been happening. You know, for those who just support me, I do appreciate it. For those who think I'm just like the weakest piece of shit ever, it's like whatever, dude. You know, it's the internet. It happens. You know, it can happen to anybody, right? Overnight. So.
Okay, so here, the question I have for you.
Let me quickly move my camera. Okay, I'm gonna move my camera up here. Okay. Let's do it.
Is this okay? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, what's up?
I guess the question on everybody's minds is like, so you met SupCaitlyn, you're modding for her, you make her computer and stuff.
I'm gonna real quickly move my camera one more time. Put it back in the corner. Going back to the corner, boys. All right, there we go.
Like, and you get out of a relationship or whatever. Like, I'm gonna be super honest. Like, so what is it? Like, is there like a
Hassan goes and gets the incel take out of the way because the incels, Hassan's doing a good job of avoiding the backlash of the the incel comments of people going, so bro just wants to hit. Because, God, dude, the internet, man. Anytime there's a guy and a girl in this particular situation, everyone always wonders, so do they want to fuck?
like a feeling in your mind that like maybe, you know, you get to hit at the end of the day? Like, is that what it is? Or like, what satisfaction do you derive out of this?
So originally I had like a really different mindset about this, right? Because
Chad is dying laughing.
More of a business partner to her, right? So like I wanted to work with a lot of streamers, and you know she was one of the first big ones I got to work with for the computer stuff, right? So then eventually I was like, oh, I used to plan a lot of stuff in college and like plan events and plan ideas, and I really liked her dating show content, right? Because I'm like, you know, I needed something to listen to, and then eventually I'm like, I can talk to women, right? Like, I'm a normal guy. I feel like if you have someone that's
I can talk to women,
has normal gestures, and just like, you know, have good intentions, like you're not trying to be like kind of weird about it. It's like, hey, this is what we have. This is what we have to offer.
The Dizzler.
Would you like to come on and do content with us? And I'm like the guy behind the scenes that just kind of help her with that kind of stuff. And like, I kind of knew early on because I met her very shortly after I started watching her, like in person, and just kind of understand
F to doubt. Wait, what do you mean?
The dynamics of it. You know, what would a business partnership look like? Maybe a friendship, potentially. And you know, I've just been a normal, like growing up, just like being friends with girls and not kind of being weird about it. And just like, if feelings do catch, great. But if not, no big deal. But we're like, you know, that's just how I've grown up, talking and treating women. So
like you're,
and you know, it's a good take from the Dizzler.
You're playing, the way I understand it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're playing the fall guy. Like, you're playing a role, right? What Caitlyn is doing is like rage bait content to a certain degree, where she's like, oh my god, ew, gross, like my mod is here, and oh god, like it's playing a fantasy of like, this is how I would treat you, the chatters who are watching and deriving some kind of satisfaction out of this. And you're supposed to be the guy who's like, it's like being a fall guy, which I understand, right? Like, there's a setup. I guess, like, for me, when I watch it, when I saw it, for me, it's not for me. I don't understand the content at all. Like, I don't get it. But, like, is it pre-planned? Like, you know that, like, she's gonna, you know, give you a little kissy poo and then be like, oh, gross. Like, is that what it is?
Yeah, because I feel like she's had that reaction before, and it just hadn't been blown up to this kind of idea, right? You know, like, she's just uncomfortable with touch in general, right? So when you're generally uncomfortable touching people, you know, I could be like, it happens, right? Like, especially if you, like, you know, for example, like,
Yeah.
in her mindset,
She's-
I'm like her little brother.
Yep.
Who in the hell?
Okay. So like you're in on the bit
The
is what
way-
you're
That wasn't my audio. That audio in this stream actually cut there.
saying. You're saying you're in on the bit.
Yeah,
Like you
the bit was planned like months in advance, right? We were talking about doing this at TwitchCon and blowing this up at TwitchCon, right? So this has been planned for a long time. Okay.
Bro has been wanting to be the Dizzler for a while now.
You know, like for example, we had other content that could be.
His audio.
Wait, you're
this
cutting
is,
out.
His audio's cutting.
I can't hear you now. You said other content and I lost you.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got a friend trying to blow up my phone right now, I guess. But like we had for an example, right? Like she had spit in one of her viewers' mouth, and that was like planned content, but that didn't blow out of proportion like this did. Or like she had a viewer that has a tattoo of her, and they had like a skit planned with.
And I guess I didn't say this yet, and maybe it had already been said earlier, but he's like a rather confident guy. Like I do think he knows what he's saying and what he's up to, and he knows what he's getting into, right? He doesn't give me any like vibes of being not confident for any reason or feeling like I'm like there's no part in me that's looking that's like, oh man, he's insecure. What's wrong with him? You know, we've seen those guys on the internet. You look at like Fresh and Fit, for example. I don't think he gives the like Fresh and Fit vibe, or anything that even like remotely alarms me to think that, which is cool to see. Unfortunately, I have to say that it's cool to see. It's sad that I don't see much of it. I think most of those guys probably just aren't even on the internet, but most of the normal people aren't just on the internet. But yeah.
With that, and that, you know, didn't blow up crazy, right? So, you know, it's just like people pick and choose and victimize who wants to do what, and when they don't know the full story that we really ask people, is this okay? Are you cool with this? Kind of stuff, right? You know, like I feel like I didn't know this would affect my life in a crazy, you know, manner, because I'm just like, I'm all about comedy. I'm all about skits, jokes, all that stuff. That's just like what I live for.
And this is the part that really kind of like like he talks about how like this is what he lives for, and you know, this is his thing. But if this is what you live for, and then he also mentions that he like didn't expect this to ruin his life or whatever, which I'm sure when he says ruin his life, what he's talking about is also him getting like, I'm sure Caitlyn wasn't the only one that was subject to hate messages. I can say with confidence that, you know, I think he got them. And I'm kind of blown away that he was shocked that people message, like he should have thought this himself too. Not only Caitlyn, but him too should have thought this has potential for people to give us backlash. Like you have to spend, I'm going to say it right now. You have to spend 15 minutes on the internet, literally on youtube.com, scrubbing through videos. Probably, okay, I'll be nicer than that. I'll say like an hour on the internet to watch any video, go through even TikTok for all intents and purposes, to quickly find out like comments that people get and how backlash works. Like you watch any video, like the only way that you would not see this is if you were just watching like Sports Center every single day, and then suddenly you tuned into this, like this character arc, and then you were like, whoa, people are whoa. Like you have to be watching some wild random stuff that has no controversy. Nowadays everything has controversy. So it's just a little like, even if I told frickin' like my parents, for example, or people that are older than me, don't partake in any of this internet jazz. These internet jazz. I sound like an old person. Jeez, man, I'm aging quick. anything going on the internet, even those people kind of know that there's backlash involved in this kind of thing. So that end of things is like pretty surprising to me, to tell you the truth. Did I lose? Let's see. I might have accidentally. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't lose it. Okay. We are in good shape. We're back.
For my entertainment, right? And I hope people can understand that if it's not your cup of tea for jokes like that, then, you know, I can understand that. But sometimes it is kind of stressful to, like, when you just want to bring entertainment to people.
The stream is fully cranked
get
volume-wise.
a lot of crazy stuff happens to them, and it's just, you know, it is
So
what it is.
do you feel like
Maybe it's a double con? Like, they got the attention of huge content creators. Like, they got the attention of huge content. Could they have been cunning enough to plan that far ahead? I see what you're saying. So maybe due to the fact that they didn't think the huge content creators would see it, they just thought that their normal audience would be the only ones to see it, I think is what you're trying to say. If I'm getting that right. I think I do still believe that you should always consider that when you're going on the internet, especially if you're doing something that is, like for this particular case, he's doing the Dizzler, which is like the Rizzler, which is a semi already popular thing on the internet. And there's a big audience that comes with something like that. I think there's definitely an attraction to seeing how I can rizz these people up on the internet. And it's a popular subculture, so you should know that it's going to have a big reach just doing that. I think that also, too, when you're doing anything on the internet that could be controversial, you should know that that also comes with reaching a larger group. Like, for instance, like, I wouldn't know if you didn't know his... Like, I wouldn't know you didn't know if Hassan didn't know, if Charlie didn't know. Maybe they want big people to see it, but on, like, let's see. Like, I wouldn't know if you didn't know, if Hassan didn't know, if Charlie didn't know. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The internet is all familiarity based at the end of the day. So what I was trying to say back to my sentence is, like, if you're the kind of person that is, like, watching really niche things on the internet, you might find a niche subculture where, like, 200 people are watching things, and that might be your small little group. But I think the goal on the internet is always to get bigger. And so, although there are smaller content creators out there, people do use likability and they use familiarity to, like, grow and get out there. So while they may have not been expecting, like, Hassan and Charlie to bring attention to these kinds of things, Charlie being the main one at first, and I think Hassan is not gonna. I think based on anything Hassan has said here, I don't think Hassan's gonna cause any further harm to this. I think Hassan brought the right part out of this guy, and kind of brought in the right message here. So I don't expect any hate to come from this Hassan interaction. But it is all a cycle of familiarity at the end of the day, which is how some people found me because Charlie's channel. Some people found me because a Hassan video I made. Some people found me because of, like, I think there was, like, H3 video I made. Some people found me, like, different things like that. So I think you do have to expect that when you're... Does that conversation make sense? We'll continue this real quick.
Like, do you feel like people blew it out of proportion? Like, how do you feel after everybody was like, whoa, what the fuck? Why are you humiliating yourself? Why are you debasing yourself? I don't get it.
I mean, just like for me, it's just like you have those days. Like for me, like when I go over and, like, do content, right? When I do content with her specifically, right? It's like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. And, you know, like, because I feel like usually I'm more quippy backy, like, hey, you know, like, for example, right? Like, if she had mentioned something about her ex, I'm like, I know I'm dead way better than any, like, past ex or whatever, like, you know, or just, like, scoff at it, right? It's just, I was so, like, kind of messed up before, because I've been just, like, kind of sick and just, like, you know, some very allergic to cats. I was just trying to keep it together and just, you know, try my best and get through the stream, because we originally didn't want to do it, and just go out and be normal people and hang out and be friends. So just for me, it's just like with I just wasn't be able to be myself or the way I wanted to be. But I told her either way, whatever happens, happens, kind of, you know, beforehand. Because we kind of talked about it before, like, hey, this is what I want to do.
Okay, so beforehand they said, whatever happens, happens, and they initially weren't really going to do this. So it sounds like they kind of had some sort of expectations, right? He said whatever happened, they agreed, like, whatever happens, happens. Now, I think he meant in the context of the stream there. But it just, I don't, I'm still a little bit lost why they're, and I kind of get it. I guess I'm a little bit too serious on this. Now, I'm seeing it aftermath, so it's easy for me to be like, oh, why weren't you looking into this? Right? But at the same time, yeah, you should put some thought into this.
I understand what kind of like jokes and stuff she kind of had an idea planned for, so I didn't want to go over too much about that. I just wanted to go over what I would like added to it, and then we added it, but obviously that didn't, you know, go crazy. But yeah, it's just like stuff we talk about and just like communicate. There's like a lot of communication going on, and I feel like people don't see that, which is fine. Because, like, out of context it looks crazy.
Do you feel like people are projecting their own insecurities onto you?
I feel like maybe, I think I wouldn't say necessarily, but yeah, some people are projecting kind of like as if I was their friend and that they wouldn't see, you know, want to see their friend go through something like this, I guess, you know, but because they think I'm just probably like a normal mod who works really hard for her and simp for her and all this and that, and so how could she treat this guy so poorly, you know, when if anything she's made Twitch a hell of a lot cooler place for me than before I met her, you know, and just I got to meet a lot of cool people, and
they could be just trying to
do a
save
lot of crazy
face.
things for
Yeah.
other content creators that I can't even name drop, and do some really cool work behind the scenes. So it's hard kind of to like want to show gratitude in this kind of like situation, but I'm very thankful, and I don't regret what has happened in the past few days. I will say that.
Yeah, you went on a media tour, my man. You went on a
he doesn't regret it. I mean, it's good. It's fun. It's funny that he like came out of it with that outcome. He doesn't regret it. See what I mean? Like that's nice to see. And I think that might be what you're saying, like trying to save face. I don't think like he seemed very sad in the Charlie call, because I think Charlie was hitting him with like some real personal type of shit. I don't think he's like ready to take that kind of thing on. I think he's just trying to play this bit and let that ride out. Which might be a little bit why he seems sad in that call a little bit. I mean, look at him, he's freaking smiling here. And then if we go back over to
like a cuckening media tour where you were.
Let's see if I go back over to the call. Like, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play the call, but I'll play like a quick second. You can.
That breaks my right. That breaks my heart to hear. Why are you the one that gets it the worst? Then you're so intertwined with her brand and growing it.
Like, he just feels right here. He just feels like kind of stressed out compared to like when you go over. Let's go back over to Hassan's stream. Like, you can tell he doesn't seem so stressed anymore.
No, guys, I'm the Dizzler. You don't understand.
You don't understand. I feel like
I feel like you dizzled all of us. To be honest.
I think it was just part of it. I just kind of like it's like, you know, it's like I feel like you don't ever get to fight back on the internet sometimes, and I feel like maybe the Dizzler can do it, you know, and I think it's gonna take some time, but
The
I think we're
Dizzler.
off to a good start, and I can't believe you're even seeing this, and I'm even talking to you. You know, like I walked past you at like TwitchCon, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe this guy's like right next to me. Like I'm so like normal and chill. I don't like to bother people too much sometimes because I'm just like I don't want to act like a fan or be like give off fan behavior stuff, you know. But I just like do appreciate content creators and what they do, and so the time y'all take to try to get to know people sometimes, and you know, understand some of us are pretty normal people.
So, would you do it all again if given the opportunity? Or like,
Boom, boom,
or do you
boom.
feel like you dizzled a little too close to the sun, or would you dizzle that hard once again?
If I could dizzle back in time,
Yeah.
I would have done the kiss a little bit better.
He wanted more. The Dizzler, wanted a better kiss. He wanted more. The truth is out about the Dizzler.
Just so the Dizzler comes out a little bit on top, because
So you don't think you gave a good enough kissy poo? Is that what
A
happened? 'Cause I
kissy
don't
poo.
remember the kiss. I didn't. I was just kind of.
the kiss is just like a touch, right? And that's pretty standard from what has happened in the past. So I was like, that's fine. Whatever, like I said, whatever happened. It's good. It's just content, right? At the end of the day. But
So you're
yeah,
saying
no,
you're saying you would have given you would have given it your all. You would have kissed a little bit better than the peck.
I feel like if I call myself the Dizzler, then I think the kiss should have been a little better. But other than that, no. I would say I wish I did to go showcase my personality a little bit more. But like I said, if I wasn't 100% that day, I had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So I was just like kind of just ready to do it. Because like I've been just on like a crazy adventure in LA since I got here, and we had like postponed like 2 idea streams that we were gonna do. So, you know, Caitlyn was like super nice. She's like, hey, we don't have to do all this bunch of content. Let's just hang out and, you know, be normal people and be friends, right? But I really just came here to hang out, honestly. So, it's just crazy. Something we just did like last minute is blown to this kind of proportion. So I'm just like, okay, well, now I got to answer for it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Charlie is, the gentleman approaches. Charlie's concerned while Hassan is just collabing. Yeah, I know. And I guess that's like, in some ways, it's a little bit hard for me to even like see, like while I do see both of their different viewpoints on it, even though some of the things I said might come off as like me being like, oh, Charlie's being too harsh or whatever. I don't think so. I think Charlie just has like a very like logical approach to it. I think he's trying to, weigh in the consequences, weigh in what comes with it, and kind of put the realness in front of this guy. And while being nice about it, I should say. I don't think at any point like Charlie was like harassing this guy or whatever. I think Charlie's got a very level-headed conversation with this guy. And I think it is done in good faith. And like you said, Hassan is just kind of doing a quick little slot while this guy's literally, look at this, brother's in the damn airport. Like there's the freaking 5 right there. You can see like that. It's like whatever he's at the luggage carrier or something.
I don't know. I mean, this is like
for security.
This has been very illuminating. Wait,
hey, is that security?
No. Oh, never mind. I thought someone clipped the kiss. I was gonna go see and rate it. I was gonna go rate your kissy poo. See.
It's just like a little,
Damn, dude, hold up, yo, you're dizzling. You're dizzling all of us. We didn't ask for this. Whoa, chill.
I don't want to get canceled again. Okay, but
Wait, why do you feel like you got canceled? I don't think you got canceled. I think people were.
No. Oh, yeah. I just don't want to cause you any trouble. So.
No, I think people. I think people were like, defending you. They were very upset at Caitlyn. They were like, "What the fuck is she doing? Like, she sucks. Like, she's awful. Like that's it seems like that's the prevailing attitude online, and that you are what do you call it? That you're oblivious to the fact that you're being used. But it does seem like you are shockingly normal, as normal as someone can be for like building a PC for a Twitch streamer who they're moderating for and stuff. So
Well, the moderating came like months way later, right? So I came in as a business proposal, right? Because I was like, oh, let me shoot my shot, boom, and see where it goes, right? You know, so I guess this is another leap of faith as well. So, you know, hopefully something good comes from it. Maybe I'll get a bag. Who knows? But no.
And dog. Okay, this is the. He goes, maybe I'll get a bag from this. Now, the thing that I find funny about that is obvious reasons, right? He's just being a fucking goofball on the internet to get the money. But the other side of this is like, it does kind of show you like what you will get the money for. You need to be as ridiculous as possible on the internet to be able to get the bag and get the money. And it's like, you know what? Freaking go get the bag, brother. Do what you gotta do, brother, you know? Get the bag. I commend you for getting the bag. Good job, Dizzler.
Say it's just like more like I think Caitlyn
Dizzler, I should say.
In general have taught me that you can people have different ways to bring happiness to people, and that's just what I live for, right? Is just to make people happy. But to each their own. You know, Caitlyn has her ways of.
I'm going to add a serious note here, and this might be a learning moment for people. But if you've made it this far, if you are a people pleaser and you live to make people happy, something important I've learned, you cannot constantly make people happy. No matter what, do not ever live your life by that, even if you are a very nice person. You know, I think people at the end of the day appreciate not you being mean to them or anything like that. I think people can definitely sense out someone who's overly nice, right? Like, especially if you're the kind of person that someone's like, oh, you know, fuck you, or I don't know what they say to you, but then you're just like, oh, it's okay. Or like, you know what I mean? You're being like overly nice when you don't really feel that way. I think people sniff that out over time. And eventually they don't respect you anymore because they see you as someone that can't hold their own ground. So don't be that person. If you are, like, always hold your ground is what I'm trying to say. I think that's a good lesson for people to have. It's something I learned at least. There's something someone says that doesn't necessarily make you happy. Unless you feel you're in immediate danger, then obviously don't do this. But if you're not in immediate danger, someone says something that kind of hurts your feelings, by all means, let them know. Tell them it doesn't make you feel good. Let them know how you feel about that. I don't think you can always be a people pleaser. And I'm saying that to say go back to the beginning of this stream when we were showing the guy just kind of taking in all that stuff. And a part of me feels like he's the people pleaser. But the funny part of this is that he did say he has to... At one point during the stream, he did say he has to become the better Dizzler. He's got to be better at the Dizzler. So maybe he will become better at the Dizzler after all and not just sit there as a punching bag. Right? I think that's why Charlie is concerned, because it's going to take a toll. We don't need another burned fall guy falling into the incel gruff pipeline. Yeah. I think that's why he's concerned too. I mean, I'll just say right now, like, I've definitely in the process of being a nice person 24/7 to people. I've got different responses to that. Some harsh, some not so harsh. Things like people have just completely cut off talking with me because they know that I'm not the kind of person that will like fend for my old self, because I'm better at this now. They've been like, oh, well, he doesn't fend for himself, so we don't respect him. People actually respect you a lot more when you fend for yourself. In fact, it can even be used in this guy's case as comedy. If he were to stick up for himself or even throw a mean jab here and there, between that, this shit would be so much funnier. Can you imagine? Like, what if he just looked at her and was like, you have shit for brains? Like, if he was really playing the bit. Like, obviously, you don't just go say that to any woman. I'm making that very clear. But I'm talking about his particular bit that he was playing. Like, was throwing things back and forth. It could have made this so much fucking funnier. Like, can you imagine the things he could have said? There was so much on the playing table just waiting for him to say because of the nature of the situation. And so I think it's important to, like, show people that while you're nice, they can't always punch down on you, because you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, you're a grown MB, and you can fend for yourself. And I think that's what's important. I truthfully think that's what's important at the end of the day. And you will actually get more friends by doing that. People might even, like, tell their friends, like, oh shit, like, you can't just say this to him, he'll do this or whatever it is. But if you're always doing that, I mean, it can harm you in ways of maybe things like your own like money or something. You might be the kind of person that would work for more hours, but not get paid accordingly. Someone would say, oh, can you work 10 hours now? And you go, sure. But then they'll keep you at the same wages. And you're too afraid to say, well, I actually deserve, $4 an hour more for that or whatever. I'm just making up a hypothetical. But you get what I'm going. Like, it goes deeper than just what I'm talking about at a surface. Like, you should always be compensated, but don't be afraid to speak up if you need more. That's another level of it, but you get what I'm going with that. I'm going to continue the last seconds of the Dizzler call.
Entertaining people, and it's not for everybody, right? For me, it was entertaining, and like I said, I have no regrets. And she's really a sweet girl, nice person. I'm not just saying this just to say this, right? Because I wouldn't spend a week with her if I couldn't stand her as a person, and for herself as well. If she didn't like me, she wouldn't have done it to begin with, right? She only would do something like this and joke around, even if like I said, even though the joke didn't get perceived really well, the people she trusts. Like, I feel like that's just like a basic concept of trust and kind of like.
Do you think people are taking it too seriously? Like, overall, like, it was just
I think it's satire to begin with, right? So when you like are looking at this, it's like it's like a piece of fiction, right? You're like, man, this Star Wars story sucks, man. Like, why did they do Anakin so dirty, or why did they do, this character so bad, or like, why did he die, or it's just like kind of the same thing. It's like they took it and just be like, oh, this poor guy, who they didn't even know I've hung out with her at least like 8.
It's really hard to see things like this in the light of jokes. Like, a lot of people operate in situations like this, I will say myself included sometimes, when there's a dramatic situation where you get so invested in the drama that you start to forget, like, the comedic side of it, which I'm glad Hassan brought light to that. It kind of reminded me that, like, yes, there is a funny part to this. While I did watch, as we watched earlier on this stream, I watched these earlier in the day myself, and gathered my own opinions before watching Charlie and Hassan. I think I saw like a little clip on LSF about it. Then I went there and watched those, and gathered my own thoughts before, intervening with what they were saying. And it's just like a tricky thing to really conceptualize on the internet when you're in the mindset of, like, this is drama. Then you have to remind yourself that, like, there might be a funny part to it too, and I think that's always a tough thing. So I think this one is very unique in the sense of, like sometimes people get mad at me in videos. They're like, "Oh, you're playing both sides or whatever." But I think this one's unique when there's kind of two perspectives on this. Like, you can be concerned for this guy, like Charlie. I think it's okay. I think there's another side of it where you can, like, take lessons from this. You might not directly be like, oh, I learned something, but you might later on remember stuff from this and be like, oh, yeah, glad I learned that. And there's also the other side of it where it's like, if you're there for the bit and it's funny to you, then yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead. You're not, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, take it that way.
10 times before that stream, you know, or like when we play games like normal people, right? Or like play Valorant, like, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just like they're taking like what
Yeah, they look
see
at. Well, you're talking to a group of people that watch wrestling and think it's real, and then they get mad at the fucking heel, you know. So it's a bit like that, I think.
Right. I'm like an up and coming new character in this saga of Twitch, and they're like, "What's going on here?" Right? Like, you know,
New character.
So basically, I'm trying to industry plant myself. Please follow me.
The industry plant.
I'm just kidding. Anyways,
also,
yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say this right now. I have something to show you guys at the very end of the stream, which is coming up really soon. It's a really quick article I want to show you about some insane thing that happened in some wild TikTok I saw with it this morning. It's a little bit off topic, but I have to show it because I think it's very interesting.
It's just like I said, I've always been about like that kind of friend that will, you know, take the needs of other people's first. And then I think that's just what it came down to. Just like, hey, I came here to make the most out of my trip, right? I like planned this trip last minute. I was like, hey, it was my idea to, hey, let's do some streams together. What do you think? Right,
okay,
so
what did you want to get out of it though? Like, when you were like, let's do some streams, like, was it like, let's do some streams where we do the makeout challenge, or were you like,
the makeout challenge?
I want to be the heel, and like, it's fine, you know, it'll be funny.
Kind of both. Because like I wanted to showcase that.
Wait, so both? Oh, so you did want to do a little makeout stream?
I would have not saying I want to make out with her. It's just saying like, obviously help her get her bag, right? You know, help her get her bag. And
brother, you gotta get your bag too.
That was her idea, right? The kiss, that's her idea, not mine, right?
In some ways, it's such a push and pull. It's a push and pull because it's like, okay, had this not escalated to what it is, he kind of would have been in the negatives. Like, at the end of the trip, he would have spent money on the trip. He's not getting paid to be your mod. So he would have been in the negatives had this not blown up. But the positives he got from it is that, like, in situations like these, just because you have so many people in front of you, like Hassan's stream, you have Charlie's audience, like, you're going to get the people from Charlie's audience that feel bad about him, that are going to, like, follow what the Dizzler does. And some, like, goofballs that, like, you can see someone says, in Hassan's chat right here, says, the Diz King. Like, you're going to get people, like, that love this funny stuff that are going to follow him. So I'm sure, like, on a, like, here, let's just real time, just go right to it. So that I don't butcher something. But here, I'll go right to the Dizzler. I don't know what he had before this, but now the Dizzler has only made his way up to 1.2k followers. I don't know if he has. I'm gonna see if the Dizzler. Do you think is the Dizzler on YouTube now? Let me see. The Dizzler. Let's see. No, the Dizzler is not on. Is he? No, he's not on YouTube. At least I don't see anything. I searched the Dizzler. Or what was his Twitch name? Oh, the Diz with the 3. Let's just try that then. No, I still don't see him on YouTube. So, I mean, he's at 1.2k by day end of today after all that PR. That's not a huge turnover. I was expecting it to maybe be like a jump of, let's say, like 200 followers to 8k, 9k. I was expecting a little bit something like that. So you can tell it's not like a huge turnover, which probably means that on average in his stream, he's probably going to, next time he hops on stream, he's probably going to have like 400 or 500 people in his stream maybe. Which Twitch is hard to get an audience. So, I mean, I guess some audience is better than no audience. And maybe this will add up as this content goes around a little bit. So, we'll see. I hope the Dizzler gets more people watching. We'll see what he says, though.
And then, like, she's done it a few times for guests. So that's up to, it's easy money, right? So can't really blame her.
Easy.
And then on top of that, it's just like, I've been working on, like, because I would do, like, co-hosting stuff. Like, we'll do, I'll be a co-host for a dating show, or I'll be, the Dizzler will make an appearance and date other streamers, right? And just wanted to, like, keep that Dizzler momentum, get that Dizzler stocked up, and
get the Dizzler up.
Because I do enjoy streaming on occasion, and just wanted to take it a little bit more seriously, and just like this was like kind of an idea to help me get in that direction, and just like kind of push it in that direction. It's like, hey, I can do this and be kind of funny, and people enjoy watching, and that's just like reassurance of that kind of thing.
Well, listen, I wish you well, and I hope you dizzle your way to the top. I'm expecting some Amaranth Dizzler streams. Maybe Jenna Meowry, maybe she could step on you and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I already got modded Amaranth. She's telling me to hit the gym,
dude.
So
You're on the up and up. He's on
the up and up. He got modded on Amaranth. Let's go. Dude, it'll be a way better stream than the Amaranth quartering stream. That was a nightmare. I talked about that in the last stream.
All these guys, they're hating on you, but they don't see the vision, Dizzler. I see it.
This is why you're my guy, Hassan.
I see the bigger picture here.
All right. Thank you for talking to me, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for coming on, my man. Have a good one.
See ya.
That was the Hassan and Dizzler call. And that concludes the Dizzler thing. Now, I'm going to show you real quickly. I think I got all my takes on that out of the way. I'm going to jump over to this airplane situation. Classic airplane situation. No, it's not someone getting yelled at. It's something you might have not expected. And a girl posted her survival story from this airplane. Crazy, right? So, today, I'm going to refresh the page because, oh my God, the picture disappeared. Okay, here it is. The national state says the plug covering an unused exit door that blew out minutes into the Alaska Airlines flight Friday evening had been found. The agency said the discovery could prove vital investigation, could prove vital in the investigation of the cause of the blowout. Forced Boeing to return to Portland. It's wanting me to close out of this page. I will not close out. So yeah, you can see right here, right into this flight, this freaking door just blew out, brother. That's insane. That is crazy. And so, like, yeah, as the plane was taking off, I have a TikTok to supply this. We're gonna watch that TikTok this girl cut up, cause man, this is a crazy story. We're gonna watch it together.
On that flight. If I look really tired to you, it's because I absolutely am. I have not slept in like 24 hours because my mind is too awake. I still can't believe this even happened to me. But
dude, I would not be sleeping for like freaking a week if that happened. Dude, I just cannot imagine the prospect of being on an airplane and then a door on the airplane going whoa. Like, when a plane is taking off, the first thing that's always going into my mind, at least, is, like, I always think that, like, when at takeoff, somehow the bottom of the plane is going to hit the runway and it's going to, like, catch fire. I don't know why I think that, but I thought that every single time I've ever been on a plane that's taken off. Like, I don't know why. I have fears of planes taking off, I guess.
But here's what happened from my point of view. Thankfully, I was towards the front of the plane, and where the whole incident happened was in the back of the plane. But
oh yeah, and I heard two people who were gonna missed their flight. No shot. No freaking shot. if you said one person, I would have been like, oh damn. But 2 people missed their flight who were gonna sit there, dude. If I were those 2 people who missed my flight, I would be like celebrating my life, dude. I'd be like, yo, I got not working today. I don't know what I would do, dude. I'd probably go buy myself like the nicest dinner ever, some shit. I don't know. I'd throw myself a little celebration.
About 10 minutes into takeoff, we weren't at cruising altitude yet. We were all still in like full takeoff mode, seatbelts on, like kind of like focused, like no one was trying to get up or anything, thank goodness. But it was at this time that we all heard a loud bang, like really loud bang, a jolt, and a whoosh of air. It came back at us really quickly.
Dude, I don't know if it's because I'm thinking about airplanes, but like, man, I like feel that as she's saying it. That is the most frightening thing. Can you imagine that? Your plane takes off and you're a boom and a thing of air. I'm actually like, when I've been on airplanes lately, I've been very cautious of like the overhead mask procedures and like the things that are underneath me, because like sometimes I feel like we just see the people like standing as the plane, so you know, if they're standing in the middle aisle and they're kind of like, and there's like the voice playing in the back, and everyone already has their earphones in by then. And it kind of, the last airplane I was on, I was kind of like, man, it's been a while since I listened to these people. Because, you know, it's so ingrained in us that, like, you don't even really think much about safety when you're on a plane. Like, I'm sure you think about it, but you're not, like, thinking about what to do with the procedure so much. Like, it's been ingrained in us, but at least me, I forget it. I forget some of those procedures sometimes.
Immediately in the next moment, the oxygen masks came down from the overhead compartment, and a flight attendant didn't even need to get overhead for everybody to immediately start putting them on. We had no idea what had happened yet. My mind is still thinking maybe this is a joke, but my body is like, put that over my head, tighten the straps, look around for children, see if anybody needs help.
She's nice. She's so nice. Is that not the sweetest thing you've ever heard? Is that not? Like, I'm over here like, aw. That's so nice. That is so nice. Like, she could have just been like, yo, I put the thing over my head and I look forward and I keep going. But she was like, nope, I put it on and look to see if anyone needs help. Dude, if I was on that plane, I would have been the one being like, me, I need help. You know what I mean? It's good because your life is 100% out of your hands. I know. Dude, new plane hack going forward. Bring a parachute with you every plane ride. I can't believe I just said that. Bring a parachute with you every plane ride. Can you imagine, dude? You're like the one person with a fucking parachute.
You know, we've seen movies. We've had those safety precautions like drilled into us. I very quickly realized that something is terribly wrong. I can like feel it. I know this is no accident. I can just feel the vibe of the plane. There's some commotion going on behind us. We're trying to look over our shoulders. We can't see anything because all the oxygen masks, like wires and everything are in the way. And I am so grateful I was not in the back of the plane.
Ryan's going to head out. I'm about to end stream here in the next... Stream is ending in like 5 minutes, so... Appreciate you being here, Ryan. Thanks for hanging on. This has been a long... It's been, I think, my longest stream yet. It's been 2 hours. Appreciate you hanging around, man. I will definitely catch you next time. I'll try to be on tomorrow night, so I'll see you then. I'm going to continue stream right now.
People
5 more
could
minutes.
potentially be sucked out of the door and their stuff like was getting sucked
Appreciate
out.
you
Like
being
anybody
here.
who had a phone in their hand, gone immediately. But because we were in the front of the plane, it was worse in the sense that we had no idea what was going on. I truly thought it was the engine. I thought an engine...
Okay. She mentioned that people's phones are out of their hand. Keep that in your mind real quickly. After this, sorry, this video's going to end, then I'm going to show you this quick thing, because there's a little bit of an update to this.
Blown out, a wing had gone down. Like, that's how loud and like jolting that like second was, that I thought we were going to nosedive at any second. For a full 15 to 20 minutes, felt like a lifetime. I thought every second that went on, we were going to start nosediving like those planes that went down a few years ago.
Dude. Oh.
I just kept...
Chris, are you saying bye to Ryan? I'm assuming you're saying bye to Ryan.
Thinking, what was this going to do to my family if I didn't make it, to my mom and my sister? I just was like, my mom's never going to like recover from this. Like, my
God.
Will they ever get over this if this is like how I go? I tried to just breathe, like breathe 4 seconds in, breathe 4 seconds out. I was looking out the window, just waiting, just like.
Or are you heading out, Chris? But man, I cannot imagine that. Thinking your life is about to end and then like thinking about your family and all that. Dude, that's so frightening.
Hoping with every second that we got closer to the ground that we would be okay. The pilots never said anything. Totally fine with that. I was like, in my mind, I was like, that's fine. Just like focus on your job, because the flight attendants did come on. They did like say, keep your masks on, stay in your seats. Something's wrong. The pilots haven't given us any indication of what's going on yet. But soon enough, we could feel the plane turning, and we could tell that we were going back, because we haven't gotten that far away from the airport. So I was assuming we went back. But my mind was also, no surprise, in full panic mode. So I'm also like, where are we? Are we going to emergency
Here to land. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. It's really nice of you.
land? Do we have time to make it to an airport? I have no idea. We do, as smoothly as possible, start descending, and it is so loud. That is like when I start having full panic all over again, even more than I'm already panicking, because you can really tell something's wrong because the engines are so loud. Since there's a hole in the wall, I will later find out. We land back at the Portland airport. We land smoothly, like somehow, and everybody starts clapping. Only time I'm okay with people clapping at the end of a.
Yeah, I appreciate you hanging till the end of the stream. That means a lot. Thank you. It's cool that you're here to chill. I know it's late for a lot of people too. That's the other thing. Some it's like 9 o'clock right now.
Flight. And of course, that's when we start hearing information coming from the back of the plane that like a window's been ripped out, there's a hole in the plane, a lot of different stories, but basically like something came off in the plane. Everyone's okay-ish, we think, but phones were sucked out of their hands. Some things were lost. A kid had to be held down by his mom, so he stayed in a seatbelt or stayed in a seat. This is when like the.
Oh my God, dude. That mom, imagine being that mom holding on for dear life, like quite literally holding your kid down for dear life, like with all that pressure. And I'm like, I don't know why I look like I have a smile. I'm not making a joke about, like, that's fucking wild. You're holding on to your own kid, like saving your kid's life. Imagine when that kid grows up and his mom's like, yeah, dude, we saved your life. Like, you almost flew out of a goddamn airplane. You mad? Like, freaking best mom in the planet Earth, dude. Like, that mom literally saved her kid's life. That's wild to me.
The EMTs and the firefighters come on really quickly. Thankfully, we weren't taxiing for that long. They're asking.
Yeah, I've been more concerned about living more than my entire life, so I'd hate to be jumped by death. Yeah, I know, right?
If anybody needs help, they get ushered to the back of the plane where the hole was, and some people got off really quickly and were clearly the ones closest to the hole, saying that like they almost died, their phones were sucked out. It was wild. It wasn't until we deboarded, 200 of us are waiting in this customer service line, that the picture of the whole panel that you've seen from the news articles.
Yeah, I was like reading your comment again, but yeah, it's like I feel the same way. I feel the same. I don't want to like comment too much on that because I can go down a whole thing with that conversation. And I've been in that conversation in real life with some people a lot recently. Maybe it's video worthy or something.
It was gone, starts circulating around the line, and I like took a picture of someone's phone since my seat was so far ahead, and that we're all starting to wonder what happened. We're speculating, was it the emergency door? It looks like it looks more than a window, or like could any part of the plane, a whole chunk of it, come off? We, of course, would later learn that it was a fuselage door. I think I'm saying that right, which it's a potential emergency exit door, I've learned. But our plane didn't need a second one, so it's supposed to be sealed up. It's not supposed to be opened during flight as an emergency. It should just completely be sealed up, basically, which didn't happen. Thankfully, I was able to get a flight out the next day.
Which didn't happen. And that's... Also, I don't know if this is just me. This could just be a me thing. I just have maybe a lot of fears about airplanes for some reason. They are, for the record... I think Charlie once talked about this. My dad has told me this on several occasions. I looked it up on my own one time. For the record, being in an airplane is actually safer than being in a car. There are stats to prove that. And yet, I still have, like, airplane fears. But, dude, you know how you sit in the tarmac, or you sit at the gate, and they go, cross-check this, cross-check that, blah, 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 and you hear the people going, cross-check, and, like, all that shit. When they're checking, and you hear the, all that shit when you're on the plane, that's, like, all their things, like, checking all the shit, and, like, making sure everything's all put together, and new, you know, it's got the right amount of oil and gas, and all the electronics are working, and the emergency functions work, and whatever the hell else goes on down there. I don't know. I don't get to see it, but you know what I'm talking about. I always, every time when that stuff happens, I'm like, did they do everything? Did they do everything? Did they check everything? Like, that question does not leave. I can remember thinking that when I was 5. That question has not left my head. And it's situations like this that make me think, maybe, you know, who knows? And not say that maybe they aren't on every flight, but you never know. There's flights like this where they just didn't check that plug thing. And they didn't check it, and boom, there goes the whole damn door.
They did organize a whole flight to Ontario last night for people that needed to get back, but I had a friend in Portland I was staying with, and I was just fine waiting the night and going back in the morning and trying again and getting on another flight. And I can safely say I am home with my mom, and I'm doing okay. I am so unbelievably grateful for those pilots and those crew members, and honestly everybody on the plane, for staying so calm. Everybody was so silent. You could tell we were just so afraid. One breath.
Okay. Couple things. So I saw this thing earlier. If I search Alaska Airlines pilot, I swear I saw this. Let's see if I can find this. Was it on? It might have been on Twitter that I saw it. Alaska Airlines pilot. I'll see if I can dig it up. Keeping eyes open for warning signs. I know. I hate that I like kind of operate off of fear with that, but I'm always like, okay. Even this one time, I'll say this. There was like a plane I was on that was about to take off, and they said, they literally, this was really recent. This was like 2 planes ago that I was on. They were like, oh, we have to wait to take off because we had issue, whatever. I forget what the scientific name of the issue was. But my first instinct when they said they had an issue with the plane was like, holy fuck, I cannot ride this plane. And I went on Google and Googled what that exact scientific issue was. And it was something that said, like, if this isn't fixed, it can cause the whole plane's power to go out. And I'm like, what the... you're telling me I'm about to get on a plane that, like, has this issue that they're going to fix, but just because they fixed it, like, a fix is only a fix at the end of the day. They didn't say they're repairing it and putting in a new mechanism. They said they're fixing it. So I was on this plane off of the trust that they fixed it properly to work for this 4-hour flight that I was on. And I'm like, Come on. And then I just remember like I slept that whole plane ride because I was like, please, I just hope I make it. Like, and at one point before I even took off, I asked the stewardess or whatever. I was like, hey, I just looked this up and this looks pretty damn serious. Like, I don't think I feel comfortable. I told the person sitting next to me about this and they were like, oh yeah, that does not make me feel too comfortable flying in this plane either. And so I asked the stewardess about it, and the stewardess was like being weird. The stewardess was kind of like on some like shh kind of thing with me, and I was like, what? Like, I'm not insane for looking up this issue that could cause an entire plane to like fall while I'm flying in this plane. Like, is that not insane to be like, is that insane to be the only person like looking this thing up? Or like maybe I'm not the only one that looked it up. Maybe I looked it up and other people did too, and I was the only one that like saw that as a potential thing. And I was concerned about it because just before then, there was that other plane that had just gone down, literally like that week before. And so I was very, very like my brain was very plane focused. And you hear stories like these all the time now with planes. I think as the economy's getting worse, planes are getting worse. I don't know, dude. It's getting really weird. I'm gonna see if I can find that clip on let's see here. I wonder what here, let me just read through the comments on that real quick. Did no one scream during all this? Curious what the compensation is. They better give people their flight thing back. They better be paying every one of y'all's therapy for real. That's real though. They better, dude. People would be so traumatized by that. I don't think I'd ever fly again. I read that comment this morning and I thought, I don't know if I'd be that extreme about it. It would make me not fly for a while. Probably not ever again. But I'm gonna here. Ask Airlines pilot. Like, oh, where was it? Was it? Let me see if I can find it. I think it was Twitter. It was this insane shot of the Alaska Airlines pilot. Let me see. Here, well, here's the pilot. This is him. Pilot on Avery. They tried to shut down. Oh no, wait, maybe this isn't him. No, okay, no, this is the other guy. Never mind. That's not the pilot. That's the guy that tried to shut off that one pilot. This is the insane pilot. I don't know why Twitter's like resurfacing him. There was this. People forget that since only survivors tell their stories, there's a huge bias against being transparent. I think climate change and obsolete models having an effect is obfuscated. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. Like there's like a whole thing of like things you shouldn't say on a plane or whatever it is. I think what I had said to the stewardess may have like crossed those boundaries, which I think is odd because you're just kind of walking into a plane at the trust of like a pilot. Oh. Yeah, it is. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah. God, I wish I could find this picture. I think, you know what? I think I know where I can find it. I think it was on, let's see. I think it was on Hassan's stream earlier.
I thought like in the past when flights, would crash and people would like eat each other and stuff, I thought that's when they were on the plane still.
Here. Hassan showed this
Reminded
picture.
her of some advice her father had. All that inner childhood.
Let's see.
Do you think you could survive? No, absolutely not, sir.
We got through security, which was nice.
That's good.
Nice,
Yeah.
dude. One of my relatives holds the world.
Like, people that survive this stuff like that, they just Yes, it's the BBC World News anchor. Whatever his name is. I was interviewed by him. You're right.
Let's
The
see.
aircraft had been.
Going on
This. Look.
MySpace.
Here it is. Here it is.
Take a picture. I'd like to send it to the telly. Oh my god. As well as the captain, the lives of 87 passengers and crew are hanging in balance. I was still holding Tim, but my arms were getting weaker. And then he slipped, Mr. Ogden recalled. I thought I was going to lose him, but he ended up bent in a U shape around the windows. Oh my god. So he actually got stuck. Like, even after he gave up, even after he, like, slipped, the dude was straight stuck on the side of the fucking plane. That's crazy. He's like, step bro. Step brother. I'm stuck in a U shape on the plane. Please help me, step bro. That's what he said. Help me, co-pilot and subsequent step-brother. I thought I was going to lose him, but he ended up bent in a U-shape around the windows. His face was banging against the window. The way they're describing this is crazy, dog. His face was banging against the window with blood coming out of his nose and the side of his head. His arms were flailing. And it seemed about 6 feet long. Most terrifyingly, his eyes were wide open. I'll never forget that sight as long as I live. That's crazy.
Look at this photo. Look at this. I wonder if my camera's blocking it too much.
Stupid.
Let's move my camera.
Why do they keep
Look at
making these reenactments? Listen, bro, at least he survived. He survived. It's just so funny that they made these reenactments. Yeah. It was like a wacky inflatable arm man outside of a car dealership that you'd see in a beloved franchise like an American telly show.
Oh man.
God damn, dude.
Oh, that was funny. I think that's a good funny note to leave off on for tonight. That's a yeah, I don't know why they're posting reenactments, but pretty legendary. Good to get some laughs out at the end stream here today. But I appreciate you, Chris, for hanging on. Absolute legend. I know Maria came in tonight, hopped in a little bit late. Ryan was here not too long ago, hopped in. Appreciate you guys coming in as usual. More streams to come. We're slowly doing the thing here. I know a lot of people are watching my streams after the fact too, so if you are, someone may throw this on in the background, you are based. Appreciate you guys too. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow night. Same time, 9 p.m. Central Time. I will come back. I hope if you guys see anything on the internet you want me to talk about, send it to me. Leave it in the comments. And if you want to hang out with me in the morning, you can catch me in Denim Stream on Twitch. It's usually where I'm at in the morning. Or if you want to hang out with me after this, I will be in Sandwich.tv's Twitch stream as a chatter. I will go from streamer to chatter mode right after this. So I will be probably watching Ruth in Sandwich TV's stream, because that is the funniest arc right now, and I'm enjoying it. So that's what I'm up to. I'll also might even make a YouTube video tomorrow if I find some good topics to talk about. Make a YouTube video. So stay tuned. Lots of stuff coming. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Thank you. Thanks again for hanging on so long tonight. Appreciate you. And subscribe also if you're new here and this is entertaining to you.